Good morning everyone and welcome to my shop for once, and today we're actually working on the only car that gets any views these days. The Car Trek Maxima. There we go. My exposure compensation took a minute to catch up. If you remember in the last video, we replaced the radiator in this, and since then I have done absolutely nothing. Haven't even driven it. I parked it here, and here it has sat because there is something that literally everybody commented about that I did know about and was going to take care of. But it took forever for the part to get here, so... Leave a comment with what you think I should do with these seats. I found some decent black seats in the junkyard today. I'm not sure if they'll be bolt into this car. They're from a slightly later Maxima. I mean, same body style, but I think the controls were a little different. But, I don't know, should I recover these or get something different? I hear Catskins might actually make stuff like this, or make new covers for this that just aren't in their catalog. But while I'm in here, I thought I'd mention, new shift knob. This thing felt absolutely disgusting to use, and this was $10. It feels quite nice. This has linkages to the transmission instead of cables, so the shifter actually feels very Honda-like. This is kind of like a Acura Legend type of feeling car almost. Yeah, I dig that. Anyway, what we're actually here for is... going back to the radiator here, we've got these completely shot mounts that were potentially a reason why my old radiator nuked itself in the first place. So we're going to just knock those 10s out of there, and I've got some new mounts over here. I wonder if there's a magnet in here. Oh my god, there's actually a magnet. I'll go put that on the fridge. I missed. Okay, so this just feels like plastic. Let's see if I can actually get it out of here. I think going from the top is going to be our best bet. Oh. There we go. And look at that. It's a bracket. Oh shoot, now I gotta remember how that went in. Okay, so like the skinny side goes, oh yeah, because it'll fit back through this way. So if we, oh man, these look all kinds of different. So that goes through. Haha, nice. Well, that looks much better. That couldn't have been easier. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, well, that's job done. Thanks for watching. Just kidding, there's another thing on this car that I want to talk about, and that is these wheels. Now, these wheels are from a Nissan 370Z. These are the Rays forged performance wheels. They're a very cool design. They look very modern on this car. Thing is, I don't really want this car to look modern. I want it to look like it's from the early 2000s. And furthermore, front tires are kind of stretched to fit in here, but the rears are just hilarious. They poke out by like a ½ inch from the car, and these tires are incredibly stretched, and even then, look at the tire. It's getting eaten to absolute crap. I was actually quite worried at the track day that was going to be more of a problem than it was, but the car blew up at the end, so I didn't have to drive it back. So I'd kind of like to find some other wheels to put on this. Of course, I'll keep the Rays around for some future project that they'll work a bit better on, but I was kind of looking around, like, what do I have that would look good on this? And of course, I immediately thought, oh man, well, what if we just tried the stock Ford Festiva wheels? Yeah, those would look amazing with their, what are these, 12 inches? 5580 R12, low noise. That's just, yeah, because when I look at that, I think, yeah, I want some low noise 12-inch wheels. But actually, what I've got over here, underneath my tire plug kit, we'll just ignore that, are these, a set of 16 by 8, what are these? No, I think these are Ankies. I don't know. They're from an FD RX7. They're the stock wheels. 16 by 8, fairly wide, more aggressive offset than most stock wheels from the 90s. And the bolt pattern is more or less right. It's off by like 0.2 millimeters, I think. And I have lug nuts. spline style and a tapered seat, because the lug nuts that are on here are the mag wheel style with the built-in washer, and clearly that's not what I want. It's not going to work with those wheels. So I figured I would test fit those on here, maybe go for a drive, see how they look, see how they ride. More sidewall would definitely help the ride quality on this thing. It currently rides like absolute garbage and handles even worse because of these Delente DH2 420 tread wear. Nice. Yeah, not exactly a performance tire. Those have some absolutely shot RE71Rs on them, and they're directional and whatnot. So let's jack the car up and do some swappage. I have to admit to being pretty impressed by this chassis. Look at that. It's just the whole side is lifted up from one point. And if you have any idea what these springs are, let me know. They're just purple. No markings on them whatsoever. The other reason that I would kind of like some more period correct wheels is they would hide my super sad looking tiny brakes. Also, they wouldn't rub on my stupid on my unibody as much. It looks cool. Quite a few people do it on these cars, but I just don't love the 370Z wheels in this application. These would have been excellent on my IS300 Sport Cross, though. Would have been absolutely perfect on that thing. Okay, here's yet another reason. I'm sorry for the echoes. Here's yet another reason that I'm kind of interested in trying out these other wheels and tires, and it's got to do with the concept called unsprung weight. Now, a vast majority of the weight in your car is what's called sprung weight. It's being carried by the suspension. The chassis, the engine, that's all weight that is being held up by the springs and the shocks, and therefore the springs and shocks are able to dampen it. Unsprung weight is stuff like your brakes, the hubs, parts of your control arms, the uprights, and the wheel and tire package itself. What this is weight that follows the ground and the shocks have to push back against. So like if you hit a bump, the unsprung weight is reacting to that bump. It gets flung up in the air and your shocks and springs have to push it back down to earth, as well as the weight of the car. And what this does is it is more mass that has to be controlled by the shock and spring. Is kind of the best way I can think of to describe it. I'm not really great at this sort of thing. So lighter weight means that it's able to follow the ground easier with less of a moment of force being imparted on the shock and spring. So if you have a lighter weight wheel and tire package, not only will your ride quality be better because there's less of the force of that bump being put into the chassis, but it'll also handle better because the suspension is able to do its job more. It's the same reason that a stiffer chassis will not only ride better, but also handle better, because it does less of its own twisting and resonating and lets the suspension do its job. So here is the 19-inch wheel and tire package from Ray's Engineering that was on the car, and here is a wheel and tire package off of my Miata. Now, I don't have a scale because I don't want to know how much I weigh. So let's just pick this up real quick. Yep, and we'll pick this up real quick. Probably 6 to 8 pounds lighter. Not a huge difference because these are forged wheels. They are fairly lightweight as such things go. Less unsprung weight is better, so we'll see. We'll just see how this goes. That one could use some air. Well, I don't hate it, but I'm not sure if I love it. It's certainly better than the 19s, and there's a good amount of sidewall for the car. The rear is just a bit sunken in, but the rear kind of looks like it could use a spacer for fitment purposes. The front looks okay. Actually, I quite like it. And the sidewall profile is very aggressive. Honestly, it looks very, very race car now. So, I might do the other side and then go take it for a drive, see what the lighter weight spinny boys do. Also, you know, less rotational inertia. The car should be just ever so slightly faster, which would be nice. Could use all the help it could get, really. And just for, you know, people laugh at the whole four-door sports car thing, but that weighs about the same, actually within like 10 pounds of the Scion TC over there. Not that the Scion TC is an especially sporty car, but this is like a 5 Series sized thing. So it's fairly impressive. Honestly, what's kind of interesting about the proportions of this vehicle is that from the back of the rear door to the front of the front door, it's almost the same size as the Buick there as far as like internal space goes. It just has a super stubby trunk, and that's where it kind of cuts all of its size out of, and somehow still weighs absolutely nothing. I'm not entirely sure what sort of wizardry Nissan did to make this thing only weigh 2,900 pounds, but they managed to maintain a whole lot of equipment while doing it, which is fairly impressive, and it's still not a bad place to be. I like this car, especially now that I don't have to touch this thing all the time. I got another one of these for the Scion, actually. Not the best shift knob ever. The threads only come up to like here instead of ideally. Okay, shut up. Ideally, you would want this to sink down onto the shaft as much as possible, but this is kind of a universal thing. You know, it's got a collar in there and whatnot, but it is aluminum, and it feels a heck of a lot better than what was in there for $10. Oop. Okay. Just stay. Guess I could go another turn with this. There we go. Something else that's interesting about this particular wheel and tire package is that it's a smaller overall diameter, so, you know, my speedometer is going to be off. Car's going to accelerate a little faster there, too, because that effectively changes the gear ratio, but also it sits a little bit lower now, which I don't hate. I need to get some side skirts. The side skirts are so expensive, though, but it really needs them. And I need to figure out what to do about all that garbage on the side of the car. Actually, hang on. I forgot. I had some automotive grade Gugon soaking in right here. So, any luck? No, none whatsoever. Dang. Might have to see if the detail dudes can take care of that for me, because that is some tenacious garbage right there. How annoying. There we go. You can actually see from here. Just a little lower on the right side. Looks like almost like an inch, really. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but in real life, yeah, it's quite a bit lower on the driver's side now. Doesn't crash over bumps anymore. Imagine that. Actually rides pretty nice. I've been driving it for a little bit. No real complaints. It actually drives like a normal car now. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to the infamous Lincoln Curves and see if it handles a little bit better now that it has sticky rubber. Tires are amazing. The suspension is hot garbage, and not necessarily the shocks, just like the geometry. Oh, it's so weird, because it's like it's got grip, but the car doesn't know what to do with it. Oh, that is way too strange. Gosh, this thing rides nice now. Even on the lowering springs, it's you know, it's not bad. Gosh, this must have been such a baller car when it was new. Let's see if the acceleration has improved any. I don't know, it's still slow as hell. Hard to tell if there's an improvement from slow to slightly less slow, but it didn't spin the tires at all, so that was neat. At least it actually put the power down because, you know, 200 treadwear tires are not going to be overwhelmed by 170 horsepower in a front-wheel drive 3,000 pound car. Oh man, the wind. After driving this car some more, I'm still not really sure what I want to do with it. Like, it's not fast and it doesn't handle particularly well, so really all that leaves is show car, but the paint is trashed. And I don't have $3,000 to fix that issue. I mean, like, it would need the rest of the body kit, and it would need new paint, and it would need vinyl graphics, and it would need underglow, and it would need wheels, and the wheels would need paint, and it would need interior. Like, you're $6 grand into this if I wanted to make it a show car. So, it really leaves me in a bit of a pickle. I don't know what I want from this. Please suggest things down below. Give my life direction, please. Thanks for watching.